The sea is calm tonight. The tide is full. The moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast, the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window. Sweet is the night air. Today we are going to read The Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. In his preface to poems published in 1853, Arnold describes his age as one of the bewildering confusion and spiritual discomfort. And in this poem, that bewilderment and discomfort is exposed through his pen. So, Dover Beach is a poem written by Matthew Arnold, 1822 to 1888. A towering literary figure of Victorian era. But I think Dover Beach is more a commentary on social life, on the part of the social commentary, than a poem. The poem was published in New Poems in 1867. Okay guys, take your pen and papers. Today we are going to write a lot of things. And it is considered as one of the best work of Victorian era. We have already read the poem The Second Coming by W.B. Yeats. Do you remember that? And in that poem, the main conflict was between religion and reason and humanity. So in that poem, The Second Coming, we read that the falcon is going outside, being the no longer in the hand of the falconer. Falconer cannot control the falcon anymore. That means the religion, church, spirituality cannot control humanity anymore. So the second coming, there was that conflict of religion versus reason that stands for humanity. Again, that same theme is reintroduced here with a new perspective. Okay. Now we will read this poem part by part. I have divided this poem in several parts with this line. Okay, can you see it? And it will help us to understand the poem, that the tone of the poem is divided in several parts. Now, at first we are going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just take these lines together. Open your Dover Beach poem and then go with me. The sea is calm tonight. Who is sea? The sea refers to English Channel. The sea is referred to English Channel. And take note with me. Today I am not going to be very fast. The tide is full. The moon lies fair upon the straits on the French coast. The light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window. Sweet is the night air. So romantic atmosphere. A romantic ambience is described in this first part of this poem, within this 6 line. Beautiful image of seashore. So 1 to 6 line. The tone is quite different. We have already discussed that this poem is about the religious deviation of modern humanity. Modern humanity is deviating from the path of religion, and the narrow boundary of reason is shrinking our conscience. We are becoming dishonest, selfish, our naked vices are lying naked. And this concept, when the poem starts, in the first part, that is from line 1 to 6, you will not find, nowhere is that concept is celebrated. Why? At first, the poet takes us to a romantic ambience, beautiful atmosphere. The moon is fair, means moon is shining, tide is full, everything is so perfect. The sea is calm. There is no storm. There is no affable. So, in this stanza, in this part, in these lines, a beautiful image of seashore washing in moonlight, is described. And you will find that dramatic monologue quality here. Come, he's asking, come to the window. He's asking someone. There is someone else. The silent listener, like that, my last duchess, come sit. The duke is saying that messenger. So here the narrator is asking, come to the window. He's asking someone, who is she? Who is he or who is she? Here it is actually she. It is most probably the poet speaker is addressing his companion, most likely his wife, Fanny Lucy Whiteman. Sorry. Okay. So, a perfect ambience is described through such words. The speaker is standing at a window overlooking a stretch of beach in the south of England near Dover. He is calling someone, but most probably his wife, to join him at the window and watch the beauty. A calm atmosphere, serene moonlit night, beautiful tranquil sea. He is using such words like come, fair. You find? There is such word, come, fair, stand, sweet, tranquil. Night air is sweet. So these words reinforces the beauty, the calmness, the serenity of the scene. Okay. Now in the next part we will go to that consists only 2 lines, that is line number 7 and line number 8. These 2 lines mark a transition. From which to which? From here to here. These 2 lines mark a transition. The tone of the poem is going to change. Tone of the poem is going to change. Okay. Now next part. Listen. Again this word, come. Listen. The presence of another person, quality of dramatic monologue. Listen, you hear the grating roar. So you must understand that the tone abruptly change. Not abruptly. He gives us 2 line times. Okay. Here it was calm. From that calmness, here we find grating roar. So why? Grating means harsh. So suddenly, from this beautiful long line of spray, she meets the moon-blanched land. What is long line of spray? Okay, I forget this line to explain. The waves, sea waves, dash with the land. And when the tide goes back, what happened? Particles of water seems to make a spray beside the land. And the moonlight falls upon those particles of water. And it seems there are springs or sprays in the coast. So that is the long line of spray. Do you understand? Suppose it is the, I think it is the seashore, it is the beach, and the waves are, I am so efficient in drawing, just forgive me dear, they are clashing, and when they are retreating, the waves, when the waves are retreating, the water, the particles of water sprinkles here, and the moonlight falls on those particles and it glimmers. So that is the concept of long line of spray. Okay. Now in these lines, suddenly the tone changed, grating roar. Roar is also not sweet melody, that sweet, not sweet melody that we talk about in the part sweet. There is no sweetness, it is roaring. And it is grating, means it is harsh. So again he is addressing his partner and he is saying that, listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles, which the waves draw back and flinch. So in this, here the waves come, and when the waves retreat, there remain the pebbles. So the pebbles are now showing as the sea waves are retreating, not full sea. The tide is full now. Okay. At their return up the high strand, begin and cease and then again begin. So this is an incessant process. The waves are coming, clashing, retreating. Coming, clashing with the shore, retreating. Okay. So the waves are coming, clashing, and then retreating. Exposing the pebbles. Exposing the pebbles. With tremulous cadence. What is meant by tremulous? Tremulous means trembling. Cadence means rhythm. So this is what type of rhythm? Coming, clashing, retreating, coming, clashing, retreating. It is type of what? It is a rhythm. But the rhythm is not going smooth, it is trembling. The eternal note of sadness. Okay. Sorry, the eternal note of sadness. I say sorry because I forget to give this type of break here. Okay. Now there is something more to understand here. In this part of the poem, the romantic atmosphere is broken. The romantic atmosphere is broken. The serenity of the first part is replaced by the harsh roar of sea. Take note. The serenity of the first part, line 1 to 6, is broken and is replaced by harsh roar of the sea. And in these pebbles stands for human vices. Now this image will become a symbol in the later part of the poem. When an image becomes symbol, when an image is repetitively used in the poem, then the image becomes symbols. So this image of pebble, the exposing of pebble will become symbol at the later part of the poem. Now this pebble stands for human vices. Earlier time, when the tide was full, the sea can guard them. So what is sea represent? Sea stands for religion. Our faith. Our faith then guides ours, or just not guides only, also control, also cover up our primitive vices. But as the sea is retreating, exposing the pebbles too much. It means the tide is not full now. The sea is not full now. Religion, our faith on religious is not complete now. It is fragmented, and that's why the vices are here lying naked. And the eternal note of sadness. Eternal note of sadness means human misery. That is the cause of our misery. So the sounds of the pebbles, the lies eternal note. The sounds of the pebbles clashing each other or clashing with the water signifies the sadness, the note of sadness, as if they are our latent vices. So, who stands for the eternal note of sadness? Due to the retreating sea waves, the sounds made by the pebbles, so clashing with each other and clashing with the waves, is shown as the eternal note of sadness. In reality, in its connotative meaning, I just talk about the denotative meaning. In its connotative meaning, it is that human vices are lying exposed, and that's vices are causing our sadness. Okay, I'm not sure that I can make things understandable to you. If you feel that there is some problem, there is some breach of understanding, then just tell me through message, then I can understand. Now, next part, come. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind that turbid ebb and flow of human misery. Okay, now the scenery is now shifted to long ago. Long ago, how much? Which long ago? Sophocles, about 500 years before the birth of Christ. That is 5th century BC. And who was Sophocles? Sophocles was a Greek playwright famous for his tragedies. Was a Greek playwright famous for his tragedies. Heard it on the Aegean. It is the name of the sea. Okay. So here an archetypal image is used. Archetypal image is used with the reference of Sophocles. Okay. Now, Aegean Sea, the sea between Greece and Asia Minor. Aegean Sea is the between Greece and Asia Minor. It is a part of the Mediterranean. The Aegean surrounds Greece on 3 sides. Okay. So what the poet is thinking today, standing before the window in the Victorian world, Victorian age, he is thinking about Sophocles. He is thinking that Sophocles might have thought about this same feeling. Sophocles might have possessed this thought in the same way 500 years before the birth of Christ. He was also might have thought about this sitting on beside the Aegean Sea, on the shore of Aegean Sea. Into his mind the turbid ebb and flow. Turbid means muddy. Ebb and flow means flux and reflux of tide, we know it. Flux and the flux of tide of human misery. So Sophocles also thought about human misery. Sophocles is famous for his tragedies. So of course he will think about human misery. And the human misery that Matthew Arnold, the poet speaker, is talking or thinking about in Victorian era, standing near the English Channel, Sophocles might have thought about the same thing, about same human misery that time beside the agency. So what religion has to play here? What is the role of religion? If Sophocles has the same thought 5000 years ago, and if Matthew Arnold is thinking the same thought in Victorian era, so what is the role of religion here? Yeah, there is the role of religion. I am going to show you. Here is Sophocles, there is Christ, and there is Matthew Arnold. Okay. Now, actually, before Christ came, everything was in darkness. Everything was in sea of misery. Christ came, preach love, faith, religion, enlighten people. Christ became the symbol of light. Religion here is symbol of light. Religion here is symbol of faith. And then again, so here was human misery. Religion, no religion. Here was love, faith, religion. Here again, religion is retreating. So human misery. Okay. Can I make you understand? Now, Sophocles, actually, it is a the speaker is contemplating. Speaker is thinking that if the Greek playwright Sophocles in ancient Greece used to sit beside the agency and ponders over the endless suffering of mankind, and again I am here pondering on the same theme. So what does religion feed? Find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by the distant northern sea. Okay, so the eternal note of sadness in the waves of on the agency, Sophocles here. The note of sadness that Sophocles heard in the waves of the agency made him think of human misery. Again, the note of sadness that Matthew Arnold heard in the waves of the English Channel made him think of human misery. Can I make you understand? In between them, there is only Christ. Okay, now come to the next part. The sea of faith. What is the sea of faith? 1 second. Here, which lines? I missed the lines. Okay, let the lines go. The sea of faith was once too at the full of round earth's shore. So, sea of faith was once. What is the time here? It is talking about the Christ time. When Christ came, preach and make people religious, faithful. This sea of faith means religion, light at the time of Christ, was once at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. So there is a metaphor is used here, and also a beautiful image. Now take note here. It will be more easy to make you understand. The sea of faith was once means in the time when religion was powerful, faith prevalent. So the sea of faith was once at its full. And what happened then? It lay round the shore of the earth. Means the Christian world. How? Like the folds of a girdle firmly attached. Girdle means corset, tight girdle that can bind thing. So, but now what happened? It was that time of Christ. But now in Victorian age, what happened? Victorian England. Utilitarian England. No scope for faith, humanity, fancy, reason and calculation replaced. Okay. Reason and calculation replace what? These things. These things are replaced. Do you remember CCU? In Hard Times, Charles Dickens' The Hard Times, Bounderby. Okay. And that Hard Times, that Bounderby type character represents CCU. Now there is nothing to do. So in this situation, only can hear melancholy, long withdrawing roar. The sea is withdrawing, retreating to the breath of the night wind. So night wind that once was sweet, but come to reality, not sweet. Down the vast edges drear. Okay, and naked singles of the world. Singles. Here are so many things I have to make you understand. Lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. I explain these things here. Okay. Now, just like an undergarment, not type undergarment, like type of belt that protects a person from, the girdle is not undergarment, the girdle is like type of corset belt. So, religion wants to protect a person from utter nakedness, utter instincts. So, the bright sea of faith once covered our naked vices, that pebbles. But the scene changed. So, once we were religious, our sins, our vices, our instincts were covered, but now the sea of faith is retreating, so the pebbles are getting exposed. A beautiful conceit is drawn here, like the metaphysical poets. In these lines, lay like folds of a bright girdle furled, was once stood at the full and round earth's shore. So, sea of faith, which was once full, is now retreating again and again, is now withdrawing, retreating. These words reinforces the exposing of the pebbles, exposing of our vices. C stands for here religion, here our faith. C is retreating, making the pebbles more visible. Now, here is something. Naked singles of the world. Singles means round pebbles. Okay. Glossy round pebbles. Naked, bare. Singles has two meaning. Singles is a viral infection. a viral infection that causes a painful rash, that is shingles. Again, it refers to small rounded pebbles. Now, pebble stands for misery, human vices. So the sea, the retreating, withdrawing sea is exposing the naked shingles of the world, exposing our vices, exposing human misery. So in the clash between the pebbles or vices and religion, religion is retreating, withdrawing, making space for naked shingles of the world. So darkness is again engulfing, darkness is gaining its power. With the retreating of sea of faith and light, darkness is gaining power. You can keep these two poems, the second coming and this poem side by side. The same thought is imposed in these both poems with some different style of presentation. A terrible beast is coming, okay, in second coming. Here you will find these words like night, naked. These words are negative words. Melancholy, night, withdrawing, retreating, drear, convey a sense of loss and despair. A sense of loss and despair. Such words. Drear, retreating, withdrawing, night, naked, melancholy, so many words. The sea is no longer come, that first part. No sweet night air is now. That serenity is totally withdrawn. Breath of night wind is not more, it is not sweet now. The scent is broken. It is roaring. Something terrible is hinted here. There's something terrible. Like that terrible beast is coming, here something terrible is hinted. Actually, Matthew Arnold was a Catholic and his faith on Christ and religion was intact. And he was sad and depressed at this, with this retreating of religion, with this falling of humanity. Okay. Now the last part. Love, let us be true. So the problem is told. What is the problem? The problem is discussed. Now there is the solution. This word, it is a painful word, a cry of despair. A cry of despair. Despair. Cry of pain. Again you can say relief. You can interpret it many ways. Love, let us be true. Okay, there is only one way. There is only one way that can be used to handle this situation. How? Let us be true. Whatever happening in all around the world, with our faith and love, mutual love, with our faith and mutual love only we can fight this. So in these lines, Arnold is trying to make a world of love with his companion. When the whole world is plunged into darkness, faithlessness, he is desperate to lead light around himself. To one another. Let us be true to one another. He is talking about mutual love, mutual faith. For the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams. Just look at these words. Look at this verb. Seems, like. What does this verb suggest? Seem. What does this verb suggest? Means appear. That is type of delusion or illusion. Mirage, not reality. The verb suggests, the verb seem suggests that what appears, which seems, is not reality, but seems. Why? Under the influence of moonlight, there is a moonlight, sweet night air, the world appears like a dream. And that dream was described in line 1 to 6. That was the dream. Now he confessed. You can think that why the poems that start with such serenity, such romantic ambience, shift to this tone of despair, tone of misery. That is the cause. At first the poet introduces us with a dream, and from the dream he brings us back to reality, and now he is explaining why. So in the line 1 to 6, it was a dream. With the influence of moonlight, sweet night air, the world appears like a dreamland to the lovers. A land full of variety, full of beauty, so various, so beautiful, so new, everything is so beautiful. But, so here you remember, this word seem is very important. It makes that whatever we have experienced from line 1 to 6 is unreal. It just seem, it just appear, it is not real. But in reality, hath really neither joy. This world has no joy, no love, no light, no certainty, nor peace, nor help for pain. So these are all negative, and these are the reality. And these beautiful are all dream, no reality. Okay. And we are here on a darkling plane. Darkling means in the dark. In the dark. We are here, swift with confused alarms of struggle and fight. So we, as a sea of faith is gradually retreating, darkness is engulfing. Why darkling plane? Sea of faith is retreating. Sea of faith is retreating. As a result of which, darkness is engulfing. And swift with confused alarms of struggle. So we are confused. We human beings are confused. Struggle and flight. We are struggling. We are fighting. And again we are running away. Why? Because we are ignorant. We are ignorant. These last line are very beautiful. Ignorant armies clash by night. So we ignorant armies, we, humanity, in the darkness we are fighting. We cannot recognize who is the friend and who is the foe. So these phrases, not certitude, nor peace, ignorant armies, confused, these phrases, these words again reinforces the traumatic situation. The traumatic situation of our existence. Armies are ignorant, we are ignorant. Flight is going on at night. So fight is going on and again flight is going on. Both are going on. Flight, fight and flight. So as the fight is going on at night, no one can recognize who is friend, who is foe. So complete chaos is going on. We are blind. We are blind. And in this terrible situation, the speaker is asking his companion to be true. The speaker is talking about mutual love, faith. He is thinking that only mutual love can lift them from this land of misery to a land of faith. Only, have you heard that song? Only love. I just cannot remember, but I just remember for that time. Okay, there's a song like only love can. This song only love. Okay, let it go. Only mutual love and faith can bring us here. Only mutual love and faith can lift us from the chaos. Okay, my mind is actually wandering that with that lyrics. I can't remember, but there is a song I want to make you hear. Suddenly, I remember. Sorry, I just get crazy because I remember song and I am desperate to just listen. This is one only love, but I want to. I'll not going anywhere before I make you sing that, make you hear that song. You have to wait. You can think me crazy, whatever you can think me, but I am not going anywhere because I feel that that song was perhaps written thinking about Matthew Arnold's The Last Stanza. Only love can save you now. Okay, please listen. Jordan Smith's Only Love. I am damn sure that that last stanza of Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold will go with that song properly. Just don't think me crazy. Thank you. Have a very good day.